Well, hello, beautiful people. It's me, Sam, from your friendly neighborhood Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. I had recorded a video. Unfortunately, it got lost. I don't know what happened. TikTok lately has just been, I think there's some kind of bug with the app. It's not really, when you record a video, it's not really, it won't, how do I say it? Save it. So I'm sorry, but this is going to be an abridged version. The performances are great. Leonardo DiCaprio gives another great performance. It's up to him and Cillian Murphy. They're going to go toe and toe with the best actor race. Personally, I would give it to Cillian Murphy. I think he's owed it. You know, he's been around. He's always been that actor in the background. I think he deserves it here. But Leo, another great performance, and he has quite a few scenes where it cracked me up. Lily Gladstone, I think if she had stayed in Best Supporting Actress, she would have been a lock. But now that she's in Best Actress category, I think that it might be a little too stacked for the quiet and powerful performance. It's a very subtle performance, so I don't know if the Academy will recognize her, but if they do, I would be so happy about it because she deserves it. It's not one of those scenes where it's too dramatic or over the top. It's very natural. It feels very real. I loved her performance here, and it's a different kind of performance than you would expect. Robert De Niro gives one of his best performances in a very long time. I think he does even better here than he did in The Irishman. I liked that film when it came out, but the more I watched it, the less I liked it. And I think he's just really great here. He's definitely going to get a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, and it's going to be him going up against Robert Downey Jr., although I'd give it to Downey Jr. In terms of the Best Supporting Actor category. I loved Robert De Niro in this, and I loved how on one hand you really hate him because he's very evil, but at the same time you can understand why people would like him because he seems to be a very charismatic kind of guy. The cinematography is gorgeous. It's lush. The way they portray fire in this film, I have never seen it in a film. It's amazing. I just wanted to stare at it. It's so damn gorgeous. The score is good. The screenplay is incredible. I mean, by Eric Roth and Martin Scorsese, such a great screenplay. Certainly going to get a nomination. And this one's going to go toe and toe with Oppenheimer in that category as well. Martin Scorsese's direction. Hey, look, he's getting up on there in terms of age. And if this were going to be his last film, whoa, what an incredible way to go out. This is such a great film. I hope he makes more films, but if this were his final film, then so be it. And it's such a great way to end a great directing legacy because he is one of the greatest directors ever to have lived. A lot of people are going to note the runtime. Look, this movie without credits at the end runs at 3 hours and 18 minutes. And I'm going to tell you, me and my wife, we agreed we didn't feel that at all. We could not tell that it was three. We were so gripped, so entertained, so involved in the story that by the end of it, we were like, wow, it didn't even feel like it was over 3 hours long because that's how riveting the film was. Now, I will say in terms of the runtime, there are a couple scenes throughout where I felt like maybe they could have trimmed a minute or two here and there, but it's not a major issue. Now, one minor issue I did have with the film is in terms of the editing. There are a couple scenes throughout where I felt like it felt random, and it felt like there was a scene that was in the film before the scene that they put in this. And it felt like they had taken it out maybe to keep the film shorter than what it was going to be. But little nitpicks like that. Overall, the runtime didn't bother me. This is such a really well-made film. This is such an involving story. And another thing, this movie is very disturbing and the violence is startling and it's shocking and it's disturbing, like I said, and it you might want to look away, but it's important to watch it because you want to know what happened to these people, the evil things that happened to them. One thing I did like about Leo's character is that on one hand, you hate things that he's doing, but you're also kind of rooting for him because you want him to get some sense into him to kind of like, hey, do the right thing. And then, Lily Gladstone's character is just incredible in terms of she's very quiet, very reserved. She says so much with just a simple stare in her eyes. And she's really the heart of the film. And I hope people recognize her when they come out of the film. And not just the, showy scenes that most people like. Jesse Plemons, one of my favorite actors of all time, appears. He's good in everything he's in, and another good, solid performance from him. So overall, I love this film. I loved how Marty Scorsese used the last 5 minutes or so in terms of usual like true story films. They'll have the black screen and it'll show you what happened to all the characters. Well, he does something in a very unique way that I hadn't seen in a film before. And I admired that. So I'm not going to reveal it, but I'm just going to let you know. I thought it was pretty cool how he handled that. There are a couple of cameos throughout, and I'm not going to say anything more, but there's going to be some, some people that you're going to recognize them. You're going to be like, hey, that's so-and-so, or hey, that's so-and-so. So I thought that was cool. And then at the very end, there is, I thought it was a very beautiful final shot. And just beautiful. I don't know where this lies in my top 10 or if it's even going to make my top 10, but I will say this. It is one of the best films of the year, and I can understand why people are calling it one of the best films or even the best film of the year. Hell, I even hear some people calling it one of the best films of the decade so far. As of right now, I wouldn't go that far, but I will say it's one of the best films of the year for sure. I'm feeling a very, very light 9 out of 10. This movie is currently playing in theaters, and you need to go watch it in theaters. I think it's going to be coming out on Apple, the TV app, like next month or maybe in December. Don't watch it there. Do yourself a favor. Go watch this movie in the theaters. This is why you go to the movies. Movies like this by Martin Scorsese. And how rare is it that you can, say that you've watched one of the greatest filmmakers, one of his films in the theaters while he's still alive. Go support this film. And also to end this review, it's important for, the stories it tells, because I had no idea any of this happened. No idea. And I was so informed, and it made me want to learn more about what all the evil things that were done to the Native Americans. This movie at times is very diabolical, and it's a very cold film, but I think it's intended to be that way. It leaves you on a beautiful note, but at the same time, it leaves you with an ugly feeling in your stomach because you can't believe what happened to these people and how people were able to get away with such horrible things. So yeah, one of the best films of the year. Highly recommend it. I'm feeling a very, very light 9 out of 10. Guys, thank you so much. Please go watch this movie. Take care.